Hey everybody, let's do a book haul video. So I think that these videos are really fun. I love any type of video where I get to see someone else's book collection. So if they are showing off a book haul or maybe a bookshelf tour, or they're showing special editions, I love looking at other people's books. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one as well. I've only done one of these before after my birthday because I received a huge influx of books for my birthday because my friends were super generous, and I didn't think I had accumulated enough books since then to do another book haul video. But then the other day I got to thinking and I thought, I wonder, let me pull every book that I know that I've received or purchased since that last video and let's see what we come up with. And it was actually a pretty big stack. So here we are, and I'm just gonna roll through these and tell you where I got them, why I got them, who they came from, and if I have any plans to even read them in the near future. Because as we all know, book collecting and book reading are two totally separate hobbies that have almost nothing to do with each other. I love buying books. I love owning books and collecting books and displaying books. I also love reading books, but sometimes they don't even cross over with each other because you can only read so many books in a month, but you can buy a lot of books. So, all right, I'm just going to grab from the top and go through this. The first one is Billy Summers. I bought this on release day, which was August 3rd. Today is August 6th, and I finished it around lunchtime. It was really good. I definitely gobbled it right up. I don't think I'll probably do a review on this book, so I'll just tell you I really liked it. I don't know that I would consider it to be like a TBR buster. Like, I'm not going to hit you over the head with this and be like, what, you haven't read Billy Summers? You have to go read it. But if you're a King fan, or if you are a fan of thrillers and you want to check out Stephen King's writing, or if you're just not sure what to read next, I definitely give it a thumbs up, a green light. It's not going to rank amongst the classics of his for me, but I really, really had a great time. Obviously, I read the whole thing in 2.5 days, so I clearly found it to be really interesting because I never wanted to put it down. So yeah, Billy Summers is a book I bought just a couple days ago, and it has a really beautiful cover. It's like this matte finish with the metallic, and then this part has like a different finish where it's kind of textured, so it's a really nice book. I am glad that I read it, and I'm really happy to own it. These next two are kind of fun because I originally was getting the Christopher Ruocchio Sun Eater series on mass market paperback because at first I wasn't sure if I was going to like it that much. And I do love it. But then it turned out that the first book, Empire of Silence, was kind of difficult to track down in hardcover. At least the US edition was. And then I found a copy of the hardcover and the US edition for a good price. And so I ordered it even though I had already completed my collection of mass market paperback because it was just such a good deal. And this book at that point was kind of like a unicorn. So when I found one in the wild, I had to capture it. So after I had that really pretty hardcover of Empire of Silence, I was like, there's no way I'm not going to get the other two now because I'm a total collector and a completionist. So as soon as I realized that that book was a possibility for me, I started hunting down copies of the next two, which are Howling Dark and Demon in White. And these ones are a little bit easier to find on hardcover. So I ended up giving my mass market copies to somebody else so I could pass them along and give other people the opportunity to read the series. And so now I have everything that's currently released in hardcover. And these are really, really cool covers. I love the artwork. So there's Demon in White, which is book 3. And this one is Howling Dark. So that's kind of a fun goal to achieve as a collector is getting everything to match and hunting down something that you thought was going to be kind of hard to find. This book is The Terminal List by Jack Carr. This is a book I read in July last month. I really, really liked it. I listened to it on audiobook though, and it went really well on audio. It's done really, really well. I never felt like I needed to have a physical copy of it. But I'm a collector, so if I like something, I really do like to own it, especially if it's something that I might want someone else to read and let them borrow. I like to have a library for a reason. And so I was at a used bookstore and I found this, and it is actually an autographed copy. And I paid all of $6 for this. It was a total steal because not only is it a really nice hardcover in very good condition, but it's signed. And it's signed with a... you know, I think they call those book plates, but really it's like a sticker that you write your name on when you're at when you're meeting people for the first time. But it is Jack Carr's autograph, so that's really cool. So that was a total steal getting that for $6. This is Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee, and it's not a book I've ever read, and if I'm being honest, I don't really plan to read it, but I got it at a library sale for $1, and it's really hard to turn down a beautiful hardcover for $1. So I'm not sure what the future of this book is as far as me and my library goes, but I couldn't walk away from the library without buying it because it was $1. This is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I read this a couple months ago. I don't think I read it on release day, no, but I read it shortly after because several people I knew were reading it, and I had to read it. Based on their responses, I knew I had to read it. So I ordered it right away, and I did listen to it on audiobook, but I did my favorite immersive reading, which is what I typically do with my books, where you listen and you read at the same time. But this cover is really cool. And I wanted to pair it with another yellow and black book because I also bought this book, which has nothing to do with this book, but they arrived together on the same day, and I just thought they looked kind of cool together because they both have like this black and white, nope, that's black and yellow thing going. So that was Project Hail Mary, which I loved. And this is The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman, and I have not read this yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I'm not sure when I'll get to it. And honestly, I'm not even sure if this is a standalone or if it's a book one of a series. I'm not quite sure. I do believe, though, that it is grimdark fantasy, and it has a blurb on the front by Nicholas Eames, and that's exciting. So I picked this one up on a whim, you know, just one of those days where you feel like shopping, and I'd heard some good things about it, and the cover is really cool. So I did it. I bought it. This next one, so I got A Man Called Uva because this one I also did immersive reading, but I had a copy from the library. And since I loved it so much, I do have a review for this book. You can click there to watch it if you'd like to. Since I loved it so much, I was sad to take it back to the library. So I was able to find a hardcover copy for myself to keep in my library. Next up are two Stephen King books. These are both hard case crime books, Joyland, which I have not read yet, and The Colorado Kid. My friend Laura sent me The Colorado Kid. She got this off of my Amazon wish list, and she lives in Colorado, so when she saw that there was anything Colorado related on my wish list, because she's so thoughtful and is way too good to me, she just sends me stuff as surprises because she's great. But anyway, she sent this to me and said, you have to have this because it says Colorado. And when I got it, I read it the next day. It was also very good. And I haven't read Joyland yet, and it's not on my immediate TBR, but it is a short book, and I've really enjoyed the hard case crime novels of his that I've read so far. So hopefully I can sneak this in the next couple of weeks, maybe next month or so. The next thing I got was another copy of Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. I already have a hardcover copy of this, but I don't actually love reading from hardcovers. I like to own them. I think they look really beautiful, and I will read from one if I need to. But when possible, I do prefer a paperback. Now, I don't usually love mass market, but this one is really well broken in. It's nice and floppy. So I'm going to be starting this. This is actually the next book I plan to read after Midnight Tides, which is what I'm reading now. But I just wanted to have a secondary copy, and I found it at a used bookstore, and it was just $2, so I didn't really have an option. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have at least 2 copies of books you love, and I don't think there's any way that I'm not going to love this. So after I'm finished, this can be my loaner copy that I use when I'm persuading people to read it. because I'm sure it'll happen. That's what I like to do. Another thing I got that same day from the same used bookstore were these two books. And I haven't read these, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and The Girl Who Played with Fire, but I've always heard such good things about these, and I've been starting to read more like crime thriller type books, and so I definitely want to get to these at some point. And so when you find nice floppy trade paperbacks that match, and they're $5 each, it's really hard to say no to those. So I'm glad that I picked those up finally. Another thing I got that same day was this copy of A Feast for Crows. I used to have this full set, well, you know, as full as the set can be, right? I had this full set at one point, but they got water damage with some of my other books because they were stored incorrectly in a garage that flooded. And so all the cardboard boxes that my books were in got ruined along with all the contents. So I do have, you know, I have the audiobooks, and I have, you can see them right there behind me. I have some mass market paperbacks that are very well loved and broken in, but I would like to start piecing this particular set of the hardcovers together again, because I think they look really great on a shelf, and they are some of my favorite books ever. So I only have this one so far, so the hunt begins. I love that part of book collecting, and especially just going through used bookstores and thrift stores. I mean, Goodwill is a great place to pick up used books as well. So I like having a specific collection that I'm trying to piece together, because, you know, you never know what you're going to find. It could take me years to put that together, but I will enjoy the process. So this was kind of random. It is The Misenchanted Sword by Lawrence Watt Evans. And this was the funniest thing. A friend of mine was telling me that these are great little palette cleansers, standalones that you can read in between heavy stuff, and they're just really great little fantasy stories. And he mentioned this one in particular. And then a couple of days later, I was at a garage sale and I found this, and it was like a quarter or 50 cents. And I was just like, what are the odds? So I picked it up, of course, and I don't know when I'll get to it, but the cover is really adorable, and we joked that this looks like Rand on some of the old Wheel of Time covers. But I thought it was just really adorable, and I couldn't believe that I found it right after we talked about it. So I hope I read this someday, because I love the idea of reading some old school fantasy. This next book is Sinlin Ascends. Sinlin Ascends. I couldn't say that 5 times fast, I don't think. It's by Josiah Bancroft. This is a series that seems to be getting a lot of attention. I feel like everyone has read it, or everyone is planning to read it. I'll be honest, I really don't know what it's about, but I'm interested simply because it seems to be catching on, and a lot of people seem to really like it. And this was sent to me by Steph, my really good friend Steph from Discord. And again, she's very thoughtful and just goes out of her way to make me feel special all the time. So Steph, thank you so much. Let me know when you want to read these, because not only did you send me the first book, but I also got the audiobooks, all of them, recently on that big Audible sale. So let me know. Let's pick a day, let's pick a month, let's pick a start time, and let's get these bad boys read. This next book was sent to me by Corey McCullough. He is the author that I beta read this for back in June. And it was very, very nice of him to send me a physical copy. The copy that I beta read was an ebook. And just to say thank you for participating in the beta read and offering my feedback, he did send me a physical copy of Rust on the Allegheny. And like I said in that monthly wrap-up video I really did enjoy this book quite a bit. His writing style really clicked with me, and I am really excited to read his fantasy series in the future. But he wrote a really nice note. He said, "For Madison, I can't thank you enough for your valuable insights and attention to detail. Thank you for reading, and thank you for all your help. Corey McCullough." Very nice. Signed on the inside. So thank you, Corey. Next is this really cool old school hardcover copy of Salems Lot by Stephen King. This is the next Stephen King book I plan to read. So when I realized that I didn't have it already, because I do have a lot of Stephen King books backed up, packed up, ready to go, I didn't have this one. So I wanted to get this copy so I could have it for my immersive reading when I start to read it. I hope I get to it this month, but it's probably going to be next month if I'm being honest. I am happy with that. I love old school covers. It's super cool with the bat, and I like the gray and the red together. So that's going to look great on my shelf. This book, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, if I look at that cover for too long, I start to get really dizzy. This book, I actually took my daughter with me to Books A Million, and I had a stack of, 3 or 4 books that I was planning to buy that day. But my daughter is also a bookworm, and I am a total pushover, and I let her talk me into spending my whole book budget on her basically that day, which I don't regret. I'm happy to do it, but I just walked out that day with 1 book. And again, I don't have any immediate plans to read this, but everything I've heard about it has been very, very positive. And considering it seems to be a pretty short book, and what I've heard a fast read, maybe I will be able to sneak it in the next couple of months because I'm very interested in it. And then the last book is Timeline by Michael Crichton. I also got this at a used bookstore. And again, I know this is coming up at some point on the chronological read-along I'm doing and I'm participating in. I'm not sure when it's coming up, but I thought it was a cool cover, and I like a good old school hardcover. And it was in really, really great condition. So again, it was a Michael Crichton book that I don't already own, and I'm just really happy to include it on my shelf. Look at that cool spine. So anyway, yeah, that is everything I have purchased, received, been gifted, stumbled across in the last couple of months. I do think that audiobooks and ebooks count, but I didn't look into those when I was preparing for this video. So let's assume that there were probably at least half a dozen ebooks and probably 10 or 15 audiobooks purchased in this amount of time that has passed since my last book haul video. So everyone, thank you for watching. Let me know, what is the coolest book that you have recently received or purchased? But also I want to know, what is something that you're in the process of collecting? Like seriously, let me know. I do a lot of book shopping. I can keep my eyes peeled for you. And let me know if you see any more of those George R.R. Martin hardcovers in that particular size and cover. I'm dying to have them. So yeah, this is a group effort. It takes a village, right? It takes a village to create a library. Tell me what you're hunting for, and everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching.